As we continue writing your paper, you may ask this fundamental question: what anchors my research beyond my interest in the topic? The answer lies in the theoretical framework. This is where we begin building our study's intellectual foundation. The theoretical framework is what connects your research to the wider body of scientific knowledge. The theoretical framework is a structure that guides your research using an existing theory or theories. Think of the theoretical framework as a research compass. It draws from one or more existing theories to provide structure and coherence to your study. For example, if your topic is about health promotion behaviors, you might use Pender's health promotion model to explain the underlying factors that influence these behaviors. This existing theory becomes your lens to understand and explore your research problem. It also explains the underlying principles or assumptions behind your variables. Each variable in your study carries certain assumptions. A theoretical framework helps clarify these assumptions. If your variables are knowledge of infection control and compliance with protocols, the theory should explain why one is expected to influence the other. Are we assuming that more knowledge leads to better behavior? If so, why would that be the case? The theory provides that rationality. It also serves as the foundation for your problem statement, hypothesis, and data interpretation. Your theoretical framework influences the wording of your problem, the direction of your hypothesis, and how you eventually make sense of your data. Without it, these elements can feel disconnected. With it, they form a coherent scholarly whole, just like in a well-structured proposal. Now that we know what a theoretical framework is, let us explore why it matters. Why should every research study, especially in nursing, be grounded in theory? You might want to ask, can I just go straight to data collection? The answer is no. First, you need to clarify the theoretical lens that shapes your entire study. The purpose of the theoretical framework is to anchor your study to a well-established theory. This means your research is not just a personal opinion. It is part of a broader academic conversation. By choosing a theory that has been peer-reviewed and tested in nursing or health-related settings, your study gains credibility and scholarly rigor. This framework helps you explain the relationships between your variables. Theoretical frameworks help us explain why variables are connected. For instance, Pender's model explains how self-efficacy can impact one's likelihood to engage in healthy behaviors. So, if you are studying compliance with infection control, your framework should offer a reason why motivation or knowledge would influence that behavior. The theoretical framework also guides the research design, the data collection process, and the interpretation of findings. From the way you structure your questionnaire to how you code your interviews, your theoretical framework is there every step of the way. It helps in choosing appropriate tools, identifying relevant outcomes, and even framing your discussion section later on. When selecting or developing your framework, here are essential qualities you need to look for to make it academically sound. It is based on tested and peer-reviewed theories. Your framework should come from sources that have been reviewed by scholars in the field. Peer-reviewed theories ensure that you are not relying on unverified claims or unsupported assumptions. It contains concepts relevant to your research topic. There must be a direct connection between the theory and your study variables. If your study involves health-seeking behavior, the theory should also address decision-making, motivation, or perception of risk. It must align with your variables, your study objectives, your population and context. The theory should not only match your variables, but also the specific goals of your study and the people you are studying. If your participants are student nurses in the Philippines, the framework should make sense in that cultural and educational context. Now, how do you choose the most appropriate theory for your research? It is not about choosing the most famous theory, but the one that fits best. Let us go over a few guiding questions to help you evaluate and select the right theory for your study. Does the theory explain your topic or problem? Begin by asking, what is my research problem? Then look for a theory that offers a conceptual explanation for it. For example, if your problem involves poor patient compliance, does the theory explain behavior or motivation? Is it used in similar nursing or health-related research? Look at other studies in your field. Are they using this research? If so, it is a sign the theory has relevance and proven quality in your context. Is it appropriate for your population and setting? Always consider your participants. Will this theory make sense when applied to them? A theory used in Western contexts may not automatically apply to Filipino nursing students, for example. Now, let us highlight some nursing theories that are commonly used and widely accepted in health related research. These classic nursing theories have stood the test of time and are particularly useful for research grounded in care promotion and behavior change. We have Orem self-care deficit theory. This theory is centered on the idea that individuals can care for themselves, and also when they cannot, they experience a self care deficit. It is widely used when studying compliance, health behavior, and caregiving. We also have Pender's health promotion model. Pender focuses on individual characteristics, experiences, and behavioral outcomes. It is ideal for studies involving wellness, motivation, and behavior change like exercise, diet, and health prevention. We also have Roy's adaptation model. Roy views people as adaptive systems. This model is often used when studying how individuals respond to internal or external stressors, such as illness or environmental changes. Let us break down the specific components that should be included when writing about your theoretical framework. Having a good theory isn't enough. You need to clearly present how it relates to your own study. And here is how. Name of the theory. Start clearly. What is the theory called? Avoid abbreviations unless you have previously introduced them properly. The theorist or the origin. Who developed the theory and when? This information adds academic credibility and gives context. Key concepts and how they relate to your variables. Identify the main components of the theory and directly link them to your own independent and dependent variables. This helps readers see the logic in your design. Application to your study. Here, you show how the theory helps answer your research questions. This includes how it informs your hypothesis or expected results. Diagram showing the flow of relationship. If you have to show the diagram, this can enhance understanding. Boxes represent concepts or variables, and arrows show cause and effect or associative relationships. Now let's take a look at a sample to see how a theoretical framework is applied to a nursing research paper. This example will illustrate how the pieces come together, from topic to theory to application. For our sample problem, the theoretical framework that we can use could be Orem's self-care deficit theory. Orem's theory is a perfect fit because compliance is viewed as a self-care activity. The theory explains that when individuals lack the capability, knowledge, or motivation, they fail to perform necessary health actions. So, in application, infection control practices are viewed as self care behaviors. When students lack knowledge or training, a self care deficit occurs, leading to non compliance. This is a logical application. The theory provides the why behind non-compliance, making it not just a behavioral issue, but one of capability and support. Once you have chosen your theory, the next step is to write your framework clearly and academically. Let us review how to include in your paper so that your theoretical framework is complete and credible. Include a brief explanation of the theory. Start by summarizing the theory, its purpose, scope, and key concepts. Avoid being too lengthy, but do not skip core ideas. Why the theory was chosen. Explain its relevance. Your use of supporting literature is also important, not just personal rationale. Show that this theory has been successfully used in related studies. Also include in your write-up how the theory applies to your study's variables. Draw clear connections between the theory and each of your variables. Readers should be able to trace your reasoning clearly and how it supports your study and interpretation. Cite your sources properly. Later, when you interpret your results, refer back to your theory to explain the findings, whether they align with expectations or not. Before we wrap up our lecture on theoretical framework, let us talk about common mistakes students make when using theoretical frameworks and how to avoid them. These are practical reminders to ensure your framework is not only present, but strong and effective. Avoid picking a theory that doesn't fit your variables. Do not force a theory into your study. Make sure your variables and the theory are speaking the same languages. Also, avoid listing the theory without explaining its relevance. It is not enough to say, I am using Orem's theory. Explain why and how. Give context, justification, and application. Avoid using personal opinion instead of literature support. Every claim you make about your theory's relevance should be backed up by scholarly references. Another mistake to avoid is failing to align the framework with the research problem and design. Your framework should be visible in your statement of the problem, hypothesis, instruments, and even your discussion. It is not just a section, it is a thread that runs through your whole research. In summary, always remember that the theoretical framework provides the academic foundation of your study. It connects your research to established knowledge and helps justify why your topic is worth investigating. And theoretical framework guides design, data collection, and analysis. It is not just for the background section. Your framework should actively guide how you design your study, what data you collect, and how you interpret your results. Always ensure that the theory you choose is relevant. It should clearly align with your research problem, objectives, and variables. A good fit strengthens the clarity and credibility of your work. Keep these points in mind as you build your proposals, including how you write your theoretical framework, which is more than just a part of your paper. It is the backbone of your entire research journey.